Boom. So what's down with y'all, boy? I'm up here. I'm walking to the stove. Give me some doggone trying to drink a good beverage, if I do say so myself. But anyway, man, I remember that one time when I was 18 and I was going out of town with, some people that I was once cool with, or at least I thought I was cool with them. So I was going out of town, and boom, I had money on me. Dude, I would be going out of town if I ain't had no money on me. So boom, we had went to Walmart, and then it was me and a female. We went to Walmart just so we can. Well, for one, I ain't put on no deodorant when I had lived. I ain't put on no deodorant, so I went to Walmart, and then boom, I just opened up a freaking can of deodorant or something like that, and then I put it on. After I got done with it, I threw that junk, and then me not even us, we didn't even know that. Boom, man, it was how to put it? It was some people that no, it was police officers that posed themselves as they were regular people, right? They was in disguise, if I do say so myself. And then me and the female, I came in that thing with a freaking boot bag on, and me and the female, we were just taking stuff off the racks and putting it in our boot bag so that we would be able to walk out and have everything, have like, I'm talking about everything. Boom, we finna get ready. Yeah, we finna get ready and walk out. Yeah, we finna get ready and walk out. Dog over here grabbing my freaking pants leg and jump. And so boom, like I was saying, we messed around and like picked the bags up and all that. And then boom, we must finna get ready and walk out. The other people, they was already in there. They had already left out. Well, I mean, now they ain't leave out. We was all just leaving out. Whole time I got a boot bag on. The whole time I got a whole boot bag on. Then them people, they were like, the people that worked there, the police officers, they was in disguise. They said something like, I'm gonna need all of y'all to step to the side. And then so we stepped to the side. And I'm like, bro, what you doing there for? Then the man was like, oh, if you didn't know, I'm finna tell you, I am a police officer. We are all police officers, so we just watching the people that come here, cause people always come in here and stealing stuff, so we want to catch them. And now it looks like we caught them. Boom. So they gave us all the chance. They were like, come inside of our room, inside this room in Walmart. They said, come inside this room, and we finna get y'all. Finna tell y'all people y'all better have someone to come pick y'all up. If y'all ain't got nobody to pick y'all up, then boom, we're gonna have to take y'all, gonna have to lock y'all up. I'm like, man, dang, boy. And the guy that had dropped us off, he was inside the truck, cause he didn't get out. And so, boom. Next thing you know, that was when I was 18 years old. So let me go back. So back before I turned 18, it used to be a person telling me that you ain't gonna ever be nothing saying that you ain't gonna ever be nothing when you grow up. You ain't gonna ever be nothing. You ain't gonna ever amount to nothing when you grow up. But I guarantee you, as soon as you turn 18, they first say either you're gonna be in jail or in hell. And I'm like, I'm just a little boy. Like, what is she talking about, bro? Boom. So, like, let me fast forward back up. This one, yeah, like I said, the dude said y'all go on up and now. Y'all can go on up and now and said that y'all can go on up and now and y'all can he said y'all gonna call y'all can call, like I said, he said no, the woman said he said y'all can call your people to come and get you or it's either y'all just gonna have to get locked up. I'm like, man, dang, do nobody wrong me, but they ain't got no freaking, they ain't down here for me to call them. And they gave us the time. You got till this time where you can, call somebody to come pick you up and all this junk. So boom, me and I think like four more people, we had got locked up on everything, and then boom, everything the woman we went to the doggone little thing. Then the woman was like, "How old y'all live?" I was like I said, I was 18, but I lied. They said that I was 16. No, I was 18. Yeah, okay. And so the woman had asked me she was like, do one of y'all know y'all social security card, social security number? I was like, yeah, but no, they said nah, but I went ahead and I gave it to them. I went ahead and I gave them mine. Boom, they did research on me, and then boom, this way, and then I only spent the night in that place we was at. I only spent the night in there one time. One night, bro. Only one night. And then they came knocking on my jail cell door. They were like, the main song, you lie, you lie, you ain't no 16, you are 18, you a man, you a grown man. I'm like, bro, so what y'all gonna do with me then? He said, oh, you know exactly what we gonna do to you. So then, boom. Next thing you know, we were like, I'm like, oh, okay. So it was a police officer. He came. He was tall, he was black, and stuff like that. And then, boom, he had asked that woman. She was so joyful of that junk. She thought that she was so joyful. He was like, he said, where's the evidence that the woman that had called us to come and pick them up, where's the evidence at? Then the woman, she was so happy. She was like, ooh, I have the evidence right here. Just wait a minute. Wait, I'm gonna give it to you. And then boom. The police, she had found it. She had found it. And then she had gave it to him. Then he read it. He was reading it. He said, what the hell? He said, man, this ain't no sufficient evidence. I can't take him up there to the real jailhouse. He said, I can't take him up here. Cause they gonna be looking at me like I was dumb. Like, how? This is not sufficient evidence. How are we gonna keep him? And so, this thing you know, the woman, she was so happy, and she was smiling. She was like, and he said it, she was like, oh, okay. So, what are you gonna do with him? And the police officer said, I'm gonna go drop him off at the nearest gas station. Then so she was like, oh, okay. Then here she goes. She wanna flip flop. She gonna talk about some doggone. Gonna tell me when I was walking out the door with a police officer. She gonna say something. Keep your head up, young man. Keep your head up, young man. Don't do that anymore, cause this time you get a free pass. I just looked at her. Oh, yeah, I just looked at her. I was like, well, I shook my head. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, they go. She was so happy. She was like praying on my downfall. She wanted me to get locked up and all that junk. And so the police officer, I got in the car with the police officer, and then boom, the police officer was like, okay, how old are you again? I said, bro, I'm 18, bro. He said, oh. He said, wasn't it some people that came here with you? They got locked up with you? And then I was like, yeah. He said to me, the best thing for you to do, stop hanging around them people. Because they don't care about you. And he got a saying, bad company corrupts good character. Like real talk. And I was like, oh. I was like, yeah, I heard that before. He was like, see, you heard of it, but yet you did it. You got with people. You started hanging out with people. He said it's best for you to cut them off. I was like, man. I was like, all right, bro. He's like, I'm not playing. He said, this right here, this is your warning. He said, this time, it would never go like that, like it did this time. It would never go like that again. And I was like, all right. And he said to me, you have a whole lot of potential. He said, I believe in you. I'm like, man, appreciate it, bro. Real talk, man. I'm like, appreciate that, man. He said, all right. Okay. He says, hey. I'm like, what? He said, I'm serious. Cut them off. I'm like, okay, bro, I'm gonna cut them off. He like, yeah. Then he's talking about, yes, good. You wanna cut them off? I'm like, yeah, I'll do that, bro. And then boom. This thing, you know, he was like, he said, okay. He said, but do you stay around here in this area? I was like, I stay on the west side. He said, oh man. He said, do you know your way from the west, like from south side? I was like, man. I was like, yeah. He said, do you know anyone that's out here that I can drop you off at their house? And then boom. I thought the person that I was going to house, I thought they still stayed there, but that house was abandoned. But I'm like, boy, what have I been at that long, boy? And then boom. I said, well, you can drop me off at that store right here. He was like, yeah. He said, cause I can't go on the west side. He said he is only stationed on the south side. I was like, all right, bet. And then boom. I went inside. I had he had unlocked the car door, and then I went inside the store, and he said, hey, remember what I said? Keep your head up and cut them off, cause they are not your friend. Then boom, I'm like, all right, bet. Then so I went inside that freaking store, right? When I went inside that store, I must done. Good thing I had money on me, like I said. Good thing I had the money on me and jump. So I went inside that store and I was going up there to get another shirt, another white tee, another white tee, and then boom, when I went inside that store and I bought it, it was some women at the stoplight. It was some women at the stoplight in the truck, and after that I came out. I took my shirt that I had on off. I took that shirt that I had on off, and then the light turned green, then boom. Next thing you know, the female was like, So I had to put that shirt on. Boom, I couldn't fit that shirt. And the people were like, nigga, you dumb. You know you couldn't fit that shirt when you bought it. You know I already knew you couldn't fit that shirt. I'm like, she said, you can't fit it. Hold on. They started laughing and all that. I was like, man, shut up, bro. Shut up. Oh, yeah, like, I was laughing too. I'm like, bro, oh my goodness, bro. I'm like, bro, this is so embarrassing, boy. Man, embarrassed. Everything. And so, boom. She said, yeah, boy, put that shirt back on. The one you got out of, the one you took off, put it back on, boy. You knew you couldn't fit that shirt. I'm like, shut up. Oh, everything. And she's like, I'm like, all right, bet. Nah. And she was like, bye, honey. I'm like, all right, girl, whoever you will. Oh, everything. Then, boom. As soon as I put my shirt back on, I threw that little shirt in the garbage can. Then I started walking down. And then this thing, tell me why it started raining. I'm like, bro, look at this, bro. If it ain't one thing, it's another thing. It started raining, bro. I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. And then, boom. I'm like, no, don't do that, no, bro. I'm like, why would you let it rain, bro? And I'm like, all right, bet. I guess I deserved it, bro. I guess I deserved it, bro. Oh, everything. I just don't want to get screwed by no lightning or nothing. Boom. Next thing you know, I walking past my ex-girlfriend for 3 years. I was walking past her house. I was going to go to her crib, but I was like, nah, cuz she got people around, and I ain't, nah. It's all right. I ain't, So I went on and kept walking to the crib, and then this when the rain had slowed down. You know what I mean? The rain had slowed down, and it wasn't raining that hard. And so I went to my crib. So if you really look at, look, the devil meant it all for my bad when God only meant it all for my good. Yeah. And that was before I even turned my life to him. Real talk. The devil meant it for my bad when God meant it all for my good. Real talk. I'm thinking I'm finna be in jail for some years, boy. I'm talking about years. Real talk. I'm like, nah, boy. And I was up here thinking so freaking stupid, dumb. I'm thinking like, man, on everything, all I gotta do is, if I go to jail, boy, I'm gonna just be knocking holes inside the walls and I'm gonna escape. It was so freaking dumb, bro. Like, what? No, bro. But God, the devil meant it all for our bad when God meant it all for our good. I used to do some stuff back then, like back then. But God gets all of the glory. Like, real talk. He get all the glory, bro. Like, what? Why could have been? Boy, no, bro. I could have been locked up for like some years, like 50-some years, boy. Whatever the woman said. Come on. You gonna get locked up for 50-some years because you over there stealing? I'm like, all right, bro, I don't care on everything. That's how I was like, man, I do not care about getting locked up on everything. I don't. I don't. Thank the Lord, I ain't been back. I ain't get locked up with none of that junk. I did all my stuff. Anything that I did, it was like, I did it in private, in secret. So I did. It wasn't nothing bad or nothing like that. Nothing bad. But thank the Lord always, bro. Gotta thank the Lord always. Because like I said, I'm gonna say it again. The devil meant it all for our bad, but God only meant it all for our good, bro. I'm trying to tell you, boy. But yet, when the man had said that, the police officer had said that, junk, I must have went right back to doing some negative junk, So I ain't never cut him off or nothing. I was like, man, you know what? I'm like, bro, I ain't finna do none of that junk, bro. I ain't finna cut nobody off. Cause me, I'm like, okay, I been knowing these folks for a long time, man. They ain't never did nothing to me. So why would I try to cut them? Why would I cut them off if they ain't never did nothing to me or nothing like that? I'm like, all right, bet. But it wasn't in my time. It was in God's perfect time. That God, when I made that prayer, when I said that prayer to him, when I said that one prayer to him, in God's time, remove them out of my life. Even the ones that I never thought that he would remove, they was the main ones that needed to be removed. But to me, I'm like, man, we got. I've been knowing these people for so long. We're real close to each other. They close with me, I'm close with them. We showing each other like what's that, twin? We locked in the long way on everything the whole time. Well, we were not locked in the long way. If anything, I was the one that was locked in with them, but they weren't locked in with me. You know what I mean? On everything. It's always gonna be the ones that you never would think that, it would always be the ones that you never thought that would feel a certain type of way towards you, or sometimes that you would know. Like I knew that people felt some way towards me, but I bypassed that jump. I overlooked that jump. I'm like, man, I ain't even tripping, bro. I ain't even tripping about none of that jump. I'm like, man, they just, I always to myself, I always had an excuse for them. Knowing when God revealed them to me, I was like, man, please, man, you already know, bro. These folks, they just, we've been close for a long time. Why would we give up on each other now? I'm like, man. And so my ex-girlfriend, for 3 years, she said that she was praying for me when I was locked up. She was praying for me. My grandma, I came back to the crib. My grandma said that she was praying for me, and she said that the Lord had spoke to her, as he always do. She said he had spoke to her and said, don't worry about him. He will be all right. But yet, me being all hard-headed back then, boy, I did not care. Boy, I was just happy I was out, boy, so I could just to go back and do something dumb again, but not get caught. You know what I mean? Real talk. But God, Jesus is so good, bro. He is so good, bro. He deserves all the glory and all the praise. And I don't care who got a problem with it or nothing like that. I don't care. That ain't, hey, you don't believe in Jesus? You don't believe in God? Then, hey, you can do it, boy. But God is so good, bro. He is real good, bro. Like real talk.